Good afternoon, this is RFC Maki bringing you a flight report from a custom battle in sim mode on Xbox One. I'm flying the Berlin map here, and in this battle you've got to try to defend some of your ground troops from enemy planes. I've got mine set for Tier 2, so most of the bombers I'm flying against here are AT-111s and Junkers, and most of the enemy planes I'm flying are AT-112s and 109Es. And this one I'm flying out towards my ground troops, looking to see if I can't spot any enemy planes going to threaten them at low altitude. You can also fly high altitude and take out a few of the high altitude bombers, but I really enjoy this map because there's a lot of things going on. I've flown by that river, or that pond here, and checked out some of my own ground troops and enemy ground troops in conflict, and here I am heading towards where I know the enemy approach zone is going to be, looking to see if I can't spot anybody flying low to go after. I'm flying the Spitfire, which I've been enjoying lately. I've got all enemy planes unmarked. I've got no information on my screen, so I've got as close to sim settings as I can. Nobody joined my room. This is just me. Oh, an AA from the ground caught me. I was sleeping there, and so now my plane is damaged, and I'll be trailing smoke for the rest of this. But up ahead, you see it looks like what appears to be two planes flying low altitude. These are very likely enemy bombers going after my ground troops, my ground units. You can see there, now I've gotten close enough, the one in the lead is smaller, the one in the back is larger. So I'm going to guess the one in the back is a bomber. The one in the front is either a fighter or a Stuka bomber. Here I quickly check my 6 just to make sure that I didn't have an enemy fighter on me, that thing that hit me was not a fighter, but that was in fact an AA from the ground. There you can see as I swoop in behind them, I've got a little bit of a view that's for sure an AT-111 on the right, and that is a Stuka bomber on the left, doing a few sort of casual hits just to test my range. The enemy AI don't respond really well. These are not super skilled fighters, so the 111 climbs a little bit. I make the choice to go after him because he's closer. A couple hits there, and a couple other hits on the Junker just to see. But here, I must be flying the Spitfire Mark 1. You can see a few hits on this guy, hopefully enough to try to take him down. And the wing is off, but I've taken a few hits from the tail gunners. And also it looks to be that there are some ground units firing. I'm not sure if they're firing at me or at the Junker, probably at the Junker, so I can use that to help me figure out where that guy is. That's my smoke trailing back behind me, by the way. So I lost track of where the other plane was, so I did a little loop. And here I spot him heading towards my own units, and as I try to get closer you can see he's dropping, so he's actually going to go ahead and do a dive bomb. So I'm trying to lay a few shells in his way. He climbs back up again a little bit, and so I go ahead and swoop behind him. Now again, the AI in these games are not super skilled. They're not nearly as difficult to take down as, say, a real pilot who will engage in much more effective evasive maneuvers. I would love to get more real players in there, but again, what I'm loving about this game is all the story-like aspects. I don't really care that much about chasing skins. I don't care that much about unlocking planes and trying to make my race to the higher... There we go, I finally brought him down. Make my race to the higher tiers. I have no interest in flying jets or helicopters, so I'm not trying to just race up. In fact, I really prefer the low-tier planes the best. Those are the ones I enjoy flying the most. And for me, the excitement and the story that's sort of embedded within this game is really great. So I've downed 2 planes. I've taken a few hits. You can see on the I've left my damage marker up there, so you can see that my engine's starting to turn a little bit yellow. I'm causing some trouble to my engine from some of the hits. Looks like my tail has taken a few hits. So at this point, I decided the smart thing to do would be to head back towards my own base. I'm going to have to fly past this forest down there you can see on my right, and I think again the forest is fantastically rendered. But I'm able to head back towards my own base to see if I can't make it back before my engine finally burns out. With nothing marked, I'm going to have to rely on maps, locations, the positions of creeks and streams, forests and all, in order to figure out where I am on the map to try to make sure that I can make it back. You can see, one of the things I keep checking my 6 for is if you look up at my rear view mirror, you'll see a couple dots back there, and this is a sort of a weird quirk of the game. I keep thinking those are planes on my tail, but there's something about when you have smoke trailing out the back that it does leave kind of a black dot behind you, so I think that's what I'm seeing represented in the mirror. headed back towards my own base, and again, just trying to make sure I can make it back safely. Sometimes planes will follow you. And hopefully I can land, repair, fly back out, and go ahead and take care of the rest of the battle. I've been trying to promote these battles as much as possible. This is going to be Xbox players only on these kind of battles, so it would be really great to have a few more players out there. I know there are people out there who are waiting and looking to join some simulation type battles, but it seems to me that a vast majority of the players prefer either arcade or they're desperate to get online and have those online conflicts. I will confess that the online battles, because the players are better, the online battles are more challenging and more exciting, those dogfights, and if you win a dogfight against an online player, that's a great thrill. But on the other hand, I really enjoy the long flyouts, the hunting for the enemies, the getting damaged and trying to make it back home before you get hit. I enjoy not having to face players in flying third person or using that mouse lead kind of flight. I have mine set to, my game set to locking players to cockpit mode because, again, for me, I enjoy the simulation aspect of the game. I enjoy the immersiveness of the game. I enjoy the feel that I'm actually engaged in a battle, I'm actually trying to accomplish something, and that if I get damaged, I gotta try to somehow make it back to my own base. For me, that's all part of the excitement of the game, and so I think I'm a little bit in the minority here, but I do hope that by making these videos, which don't get that many views, by the way, but I do hope that by making a few of these videos, I can get some really great few players to come and join me. There are some fantastic maps. I've been finding that I've been saving all the maps I love the best. Some of my favorites are the Poland map, the Berlin suburbs map, as well as this Berlin map. I do enjoy also some of the sort of generic maps like the Canyons and the Rice Paddies map. Both of those are fantastic. And so I'll set up a game here and there, and every once in a while I get a player to come in and fly with me. You can see my engine is turning red there, so the clock is ticking for me to be able to make it back. You can see the airfield there on my upper left, so I'm dropping my throttle. You can't see the throttle information on the screen, but you can hear the sound of the plane. I'm going to drop my throttle, try to use some rocking my rudder back and forth to slow me down a little bit. There's the approach to the airfield. I have the throttle nearly zero at this point, and at the last minute I'll lower my wheels down in an attempt to get my wheels on the ground. That was a bit harsh. My speed is too high, so it caused me to climb up. An ugly bump, yet one more ugly bump, but now my engine is shut off. And I'm down for good. That was not a pretty landing. Like I say in these videos, I'm not the best pilot, but damn it, I enjoy flying these games, and I hope to get a couple people who are like-minded to come out and join me. I go by the Xbox tag RFC Maki, and if anybody looks to join me out there, I would love to have you guys fly with me. I do have a headset, so I would love to chat with people while I'm flying, but otherwise, even just getting out there and getting a few conflicts in a battle like this would be fantastic. I made the landing. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, but in the actual game, I flew back out again and got a couple more kills. I hope to see you guys in the future. Best of luck. Please give those custom battles a try, and if you feel brave enough, go ahead and give these simulation-style battles a try. Cheers, I'll see you later.